Markiplier, I challenge you. I'll be attempting to complete all of the mainline FNAF games. This genuinely might be my longest marathon yet, and I will be streaming it live for everyone to see. It is time for someone else to take on this new mantle of the king of Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna make an intro as heavily edited as that one. That was just way too tiring. But anyway, as you've seen, I challenged Markiplier for his title of the King of Five Nights at Freddy's, and I have just finished playing all of the OG games from 1 up until Pizzeria Simulator. And I gotta say, I've had a lot of fun. Even though the RNG has really fucked my ass, I think that it was still a very good time. I had a lot of fun. It was very challenging. And now moving on to the newer games, starting with Help Wanted. And I gotta say, guys, I will be honest here. I'm not really looking forward to moving on from the older games. And it's because the newer games, the newer installments, are pretty shit. I will be honest, they're not good. So this is what I want to talk about in this video. I want to talk about what makes the old games so peak compared to the trough that is the newer games. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna get Helpy here to talk about my first talking point. Tell him, Helpy.
Shut your fucking mouth!
That is correct. The first thing that I want to talk about is just the general atmosphere and the tension that resides in the older games. So the thing about Five Nights at Freddy's is that it's always known as this game where you're fixed into a seat in the security room and you're monitoring animatronics, and if they get close to you, you flash them, you audio lure, or you shut the doors depending on the game you're playing. And it's a very simple game mechanic. It's not that hard to, learn, but that doesn't take away from the tension. In most of the games, in all of the games, you don't want to waste your power. You want to shut the doors for too long. You want to make sure that they're gone. You want to time your door shuts properly. And some of the other games, in FNAF 3 was notoriously known that you gotta track Springtrap very well, so there's a lot of tension. Where is he gonna go? Is RNG gonna fuck my ass this time? Yes, it is. And it's just that is what makes the old games so good. There's a lot of challenge to them. You're using your eyes and ears to focus on timing, to focus on making sure that you're getting the animatronics where you want them, and making sure that you avoid getting jump scared to restart the night. And this is the formula that has been working very well for them. So I don't know why they had to stray away from that. The older games, they were just getting very overzealous. They were getting, very ambitious. And I like ambition. I like when games are getting ambitious and, trying to change something in their formula so that they don't remake the same thing over and over and over again, right? But in this case, they just changed way too much. Look at Security Breach compared to the older games. It just doesn't make sense why so much of it has changed. It's a complete revamp of Five Nights at Freddy's, and I think I remember Queso saying something like it's just a reskin of Poppy Playtime, and I completely agree with that. It doesn't make sense. Why change the formula that has been working for years, that has popularized your IP to a crazy extent that they're even comparing it to games like Minecraft? That's a lie. It cannot be compared to Minecraft, but it's still a very big IP. So why change that in Security Breach, okay? So maybe you can chalk this up to a hiccup from the production team. Security Breach was just a mistake, right? And all companies make mistakes. Look at DMC 2. It's the only shitty game from the DMC franchise. Then all the other games were goated. But, so let's say Security Breach is the same thing. They just did the same mistake again. See, the thing is, I don't know much about Into the Pit. I haven't really played it. I haven't seen much gameplay from it. I've seen my friend play it a bit. He streamed it to me on Discord for a minute, but otherwise I don't know much about it. So maybe it's good. But I can with full confidence say that Secret of the Mimic just doesn't look right to me. When I saw it, I saw Markiplier play it for a bit, and I just had to shut it off because it's not the FNAF that many people would imagine it to be. I really miss how FNAF was. All the old tension, all the cryptic messages, the lore. This is something else that I want to get into. This is a good transition into my next talking point. A lot of the messages, a lot of the lore that comes from FNAF is very cryptic. It comes from, things that you have to dig deep to find, like the posters in FNAF 1, and the different secret lore things that happen in the other games as well. But in the newer games, it's just a complete, it's a story, right? And maybe that could work for FNAF. But to me, FNAF is just like this game where the core of it is its gameplay, and the story, the lore, comes from the small things that you're getting from, you know, some things that you find in game, and it helps bring the community together. This is what really made FNAF big, in my opinion, as well. It really brought the community together. We had a lot of theorists coming together to solve these mysteries. And I know that, you know, in canon lore, there's not much to it. A lot of the stuff has just been made up by the community, or, you know, guessed by the community, assumed by the community. But regardless, this is the heart of FNAF. The fact that it brings all the community all together to figure out what is going on behind the scenes in the universe. Not what is going on with Security Breach, where it's just a straight up story. there's not much cryptic messages hidden within the fucking Fazbear Entertainment place shit, amusement park. I don't even know what it is. And in Secret of the Mimic, God knows what's in that game. I have no clue. I haven't even touched it. I haven't seen much gameplay. And something that I want to talk about is the actual gameplay of the newer FNAF games themselves. So the newer FNAF games are free roams, right? But it doesn't fully utilize the potential of free roam. And what I mean by that is, if you look at Security Breach, for example, it's the same repetitive gameplay of go find something, get it, and then go find something else, get that, and then you do all that up until you get to the ending. So it's just not a very fun gameplay. I'm not saying that there should be like boss fights or something like in fucking Dark Souls or, you know, any of these Soulsborne games, right? But at the very least, add something to make it more fun. If you're gonna take, you know, from Poppy Playtime's book, at least have some like fucking chase scenes or something. Just make the free roam feel like a free roam and not just this go pick something up and come back thing, right? And the jump scares, I do not understand how this is just horror at this point. There is not much horror aspect to it. I mean, the horror elements are, you know, there, but it just feels so mundane. It feels so lame. And the last thing that I want to talk about, it's regarding the lore itself. It feels so bloated now. The lore up until Pizzeria Simulator was relatively simple to get, and it was a very well told story. But then after that, it starts to become so heavy, so complex, so bloated. There's just so much to it. I hope that when I play the games, I can understand a bit more about the lore, because right now, I think that was a hiccup, just like the games. Right now, I'm just so confused as to what direction the games are taking in terms of its story. I don't really understand what's going on. I know that Secret of the Mimic is supposed to be something like a story before Fredbear Entertainment, something like that. It's supposed to be a very, very, like, you know, it's supposed to be like the first in the timeline or something like that. But I just don't know why they keep going back and adding to the story, and then going to the middle and adding to the story, and going to the front and adding a story. At the very least, if you're gonna continue the FNAF franchise, right? If you're gonna keep making FNAF games, probably make it like a different separate lore, like a different entity or something, instead of just continuing off of the same story, right? There's no reason to play off of the same story and add more to it and make it even more bloated. Just make a whole nother story at this point. And honestly, that's all. I'm still going to be doing the challenge where I beat every mainline FNAF game. I'm going to be playing Help Wanted later today as I'm making this video. So hopefully I can be able to finish this main line. So hopefully I'm able to finish this side quest and get the crown from, you know, Markiplier and get the Victory Royale. Because right now the fun part has ended, and there's just not much that I can do now. I just have to grit my teeth and push through the bad games. I'm not saying that Help Wanted is bad. Help Wanted was pretty nice from what I've played before. I had some hours on it, and then Help Wanted 2 I haven't played. And then I've heard Into the Pit was good, but I haven't played it myself, and that's why I'm kind of iffy about it. I'm really just not looking forward to Security Breach and Secret of the Mimic, because they're both free roam from what I've seen, and they're story based, so it's just not as nice. And again, even Help Wanted and Help Wanted 2, and you know, maybe even Into the Pit, it just doesn't hit the same as the old games that I've played. Ultimate Custom Night is just like an arcade at this point. I'm just gonna be doing 50-20 for the fun of it. But yeah, that's about it.